How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. I am here with
Thermites.
my fiance. This is, as always, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and a trans rights supporting channel. Get the fuck off this channel if you're not supporting that shit. This is Ms. Marvel, Season 1, Episode 1. We don't know the first episode title, because we always wait to see if it pops up in the show itself.
Yeah.
Okay, where do we go with this? I feel like I know a bit more about this than almost any other thing.
Ooh, okay.
Like just in terms of having been spoiled on it and stuff like that. But you've been very familiar with Ms. Marvel from the comics.
Oh, yeah.
I have not seen anything from Ms. Marvel in the comics. I guess the most I have seen is we have played a tiny bit of the Avengers game.
Yeah.
A tiny bit, like the beginning. So that's about it. But like Miss Marvel is a character I've wanted to read for a long time, and you've kept telling me, "Oh, you gotta read this run, you're gonna love it," but you can't yet. We gotta wait for the TV show because you want my fine reaction to the TV show. But so I'm excited for after this I can finally fucking read Miss Marvel. Very excited for that. But yeah, so I guess all I really know about her in the comics is very fanboy kind of character or fangirl kind of character. Related to the Marvel side of stuff is in terms of like Captain Marvel and I guess just that.
Basically.
Also, the big thing I know is that in the comics her her powers are embiggen. She has she can embiggen herself.
She's got the stretchy.
And in the show it's not going to be that. It's going to be
I know that as well.
She has like blasty powers or something, or crystal powers or something. Like, it seems more just like energy beams or something, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like I've seen the image that was going around was a fist made of energy.
Okay, I haven't even seen that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like she was just like, I didn't think it had anything. So we'll see in the show.
We'll see. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was like she just does like pew, just shoots out beams now or something, like Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
But yeah, so very disappointed in that, was really wanting to see what Ms. Marvel is all about, and, I mean, I also know she's an Inhuman. I know that the reason why she has the embiggen powers is because, it ties into a lot of her, physical, dysphoria and just feeling like, a lot of that teenage, growing up sort of stuff. And so, I don't know what the hell the story's going to be about now.
I'm very curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah. I also don't know, how it's going to be connected to Captain Marvel. I guess the world does know about Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget that. It's always weird because there's, we see so little of what the world... the world seems to know way more about the MCU than we do. Assumingly these characters have... I mean, but they never reference it, so I never know what they... what do they know about Captain Marvel? Yeah. They've never seen her. She hasn't, done anything as far as they're aware.
Yeah, they would know that she was in the fight in Endgame.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Because, from what I remember, she's been off-world all this time. They call her in for Endgame. After that, she basically immediately goes, I'm gonna... Well, even during the 5-year gap, she was spending a lot of time, off-world doing stuff. Yeah.
To be fair, does anybody... the only person I'm thinking of actually is Monica. Who is of course she would know. Yeah,
and also her friends.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She was a friend, so of course, that makes sense. But aside from that, I'm not sure if anybody else has mentioned it. Aside from the people in the government will probably know and stuff like that. And people might know about Captain Marvel, but in terms of, they don't know her personality, they don't know what she looks like, or maybe they don't know what she looks like.
But yeah, it's I'm bringing this up because of course the idea I would imagine is Ms. Marvel is a Captain Marvel fangirl, but. How much, what is she a fangirl of? Is she very popular? Do they have, toys and stuff of her? Do they talk about what she did during Endgame or, the stuff she's doing out there?
Yeah. Having the Hawkeye fangirl is, that makes a lot of sense because Hawkeye's been here from the beginning. We've seen him do so much. It's been very, very public, and we know that he was doing stuff, that we didn't even see. Yeah. That they reference all the time. So, that, makes a lot of sense. This, I'm curious how they're going to pull that off.
Very curious, yeah.
And also, Inhuman stuff. What's your guess about that? Because I'm guessing they ain't gonna make her an Inhuman, which sucks.
I truly don't know, because this would be the time to, like, if the Inhuman stuff we've done up to this point in the TV shows and stuff isn't canon, this would be a good way to reintroduce Inhumans, but also...
How would they do that? Because I assume she would have to go through the Terrigen, you know...
Yeah, like, I guess they could do the whole stuff with the Cloud and the cogs, but even...
That'd be crazy to do in this TV show!
It's a crazy thing to drop in, like, episode 1.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No. But, I mean, like, we did just have Black Bolt, but, you know, they don't say anything about him being an Inhuman or anything like that. It's also another universe, so, you know, I don't think they... I'm gonna guess she's not gonna be an Inhuman, and she's not gonna... Like, I know other people were guessing they were gonna make her a mutant. I don't think it's gonna be that either.
Yeah,
I think,
doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I think she's just gonna be straight up, like, a person who just has this power coincidentally. I don't know how she's gonna get it, but I think it's gonna be one of those, like, you know, you get this power via... I guess she's probably gonna get the power via Captain Marvel, I'm guessing.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like, because Monica also didn't really get her powers through Captain Marvel.
No.
Like, I feel like it's going to be a, like, all three of them are very different in terms of where their powers come from.
Yeah, I will say, for Monica, though, she did get her powers through, like, it was still with the energy of the Big Bang and shit like that. So, like, that's a very universe giving you power sort of situation. So it's not Captain Marvel, but it is also a, like, intergalactic universe power that she got. So I don't know how else that's gonna happen here unless we get like a fucking giant sun flare that gives her a power or something.
Maybe. Like, I think we're gonna do a, like, Peter Parker-esque situation, like, in the sense of it being a, like, normal person gets these powers and is very, like, freaked out and, just, you know, it's sort of a, like, well, I guess I have this now. Like, I don't think it's gonna be directly connected to anything.
I'm also curious, like, you know, I've heard that it looks like crystal, like, her power, like crystals or, like, energy beams and stuff. Like, energy beams makes sense for Captain Marvel, but crystals, that seems like a Terrigen thing, but then I don't know why that... I don't know.
Yeah.
In general, I don't know why they changed her powers at all. It seems like a stupid fucking idea that nobody has liked.
It truly just feels like they didn't want to do stretchy powers.
Yeah. Like, I hope that the show is good despite that, but yeah. Either way, let's get into it. If anything, I'm crossing my fingers that they will retcon this later, like they have done most other things like Phase 1 through 3. I hope they do a... That's how your powers were at the beginning, but now...
Like a training wheel situation.
Yeah, hope to God they, you know... Because, I mean, I haven't seen anybody that's like this. Not the show, but, you know,
like,
her powers.
that change.
Yeah. Anyway, let's jump into this. If you want to get the reaction, check it out in the description below. It's the full length. There is no edited thing. Just get it. If you want to get the rest of the episodes on the Patreon, they're already all on the Patreon. Go check it out. Okay, here for the discussion of this one. Oh, let me look up the episode title. You find something to talk about.
Oh.
I'm leaving it up to you.
Well, I'll just say right off the top, goddamn, the directing is so good. The creative vision is so good. Like, as you said, it feels more like a movie than a show, and the shows have already done such a good job of feeling like movies in a sense. Like, you know, like that immediate, like, you know, this isn't, you know, like, not like the Netflix series. Like, we started with a bang with WandaVision, with Falcon the Winter Soldier, with this, like, you know, very high production value. And, like, they've all had high production value, but this has that added layer of, like, you know, just, like, all the hand-drawn stuff, all the, like, narrative license, all the creativity.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing, like, it's the kind of thing I think of as being cinematic because usually it's impossible to do that week to week. Because you have to spend so much time thinking about it and, like, scripting it all out and, like, you know, getting, you know, like, digital artists to draw all this shit. Like, it is still drawn most of the time.
Like, I had to remind myself we are watching a show. Because when I was starting out, it felt fully like a movie to the point where I did literally have to remind myself, like, no, wait, this is a show.
Yeah, and I do know, like, from the start, it was definitely meant to be a show.
Okay.
So it is just, like, an insanely strong vision, and then also, like, just having the resources.
Yeah.
Like, this does not feel rushed. It's definitely a, like, you know, in the can, they were like, it's going to be like this, and this is going to be pretty ambitious, so you better let us bake it as much as it needs to be baked.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they did. I mean, I will say, I wish the her actual powers looked better. It seems like they're putting her all into the drawings and not the actual, like, CG.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is.
I'm curious to see where they'll go with it. So.
Yeah. I also didn't say going into it, but I remember, like, half of the episode. I do know, like, the actress Iman. I know, or Eamon. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I think it's Iman, because I'm pretty sure it's the same name as Pokimane, like Iman. But either way, I know that, you know, I've just seen, like, her movie reviews. Like, I just saw them getting posted all the time. Yeah, because her movie reviews are, like, really good. Like, you know, she has very good taste on movies. And, like, the one that stood out to me was, like, her defending Spider-Man 3 of being, like, the best Spider-Man movie. And we also think Spider-Man 3 is the best Spider-Man movie. And also, you know, she is not a fan of most of the MCU movies. Thinks Captain Marvel's, like, the worst one.
Damn.
So, like, I am also excited for this because her, like, views on the MCU movies tend to, like, align with mine. Also, like, the Incredible Hulk she really liked as well.
Ooh.
Like, a lot of the stuff that I really liked, she really liked. A lot of the stuff that I didn't like, she didn't like.
It's cool that she seems to, like, you know, be a fangirl then. Cool.
And I think it's actually interesting that they are having somebody who is... who didn't really care for Captain Marvel, who was like, it was a bad movie, you know, coming in. Like, that's very interesting, because I wonder if she's also going to be bringing, you know, an aspect of, like, here's what we should be focusing on more interestingly, you know?
Yeah, because, like, skipping right to the credits for a second, what really stood out to me is there was one shot of, like, the very classic Kamala Khan embiggening hand, like, in the drawings.
In the ending?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just an illustration of, like, you know, the hand stretching out in order to grab someone. And, like, we've seen how they can do it in this episode, that, you know, it is more of a Green Lantern-ish situation.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, like, creating a construct that can be a hand or can, you know, just be a blast or whatever. But, like, just the fact that they included that as you know, like, this is the way it was originally, that feels like some big fan energy. Whereas, like, for anything else in the MCU, if they're going to change it, they're gonna change it. It's gonna be hard, like, if we wink at it, it's gonna be as a joke.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be as a ha 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 ha. But that was just a straight up, like, we think this looks cool.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, you wish you had this? Too bad, bitch.
I mean, who knows?
Maybe. Again, I'm hoping we could get to that point at least. But, yeah. Like, I still think introducing Miss Marvel now still feels too early. Like, I'm you know, curious how the show is going to do it, and so far it seems they're going to do it in a great way. But it's still, and the two for Black Widow, we also said should have came way earlier, but it actually was perfectly placed. So this, I'm curious, because, like, it feels still like it's way too early.
Yeah, like, they're definitely playing into it. Like, they start at the very start with, now, you're gonna think it's weird to be a fangirl of Captain Marvel, because we don't know what the fuck she's ever done. She also does not know what the fuck Captain Marvel's ever done. But it is, like, you know, doing it the only way they can at this point, as this, like, I just like her as this standout, as, like, this person who came in out of nowhere, did something big.
But yeah, it definitely still has that feeling of, like, you know, we're not going to do the storyline from the, like, we're not going to do the character, you know, which feels very phase 1 through 3.
Yeah.
You know, like, we've been praising part 4, or phase 4 so much for, you know, just doing the goddamn thing that everybody wants them to do, but then, like, now we're starting to get back into that. Like, Multiverse of Madness was really the first example of, like, you know, Black Bolt not having his powers be what you're used to, Mr. Fantastic not having his powers be what you're used to, you know, that sort of thing. So, you know, I hope we retcon this, but it's weird that we're now falling back into this, like, MCU being afraid to do anything comic-y.
Yeah. Because, like, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I think even if the stretching ability, like, if they had her stretch, and it wasn't good looking, or, you know, if it was kind of cartoony, I think that would still fit the direction we're going here of, like, you know,
I mean, that's the whole point of it.
Oh, yeah, like, yeah, even in the comic, it is a specific, like, this doesn't look good. Like, it can look cool, but you don't look at a stretchy person and go, that is, you know, normal, badass, that is awesome. There's always a layer of, like, this is cartoony, this is a little silly.
It's the same with Mr. Fantastic. Anytime you try and make Mr. Fantastic look cool, you know, you're gonna fuck it. It's bad. You gotta make him turn into a goddamn stingray. Turn him into a giant screwdriver. You know?
He's not the guy who, like, thins his fingers so it turns into a big blade and then he slices 10 people in half. He's the guy who wraps them around with his entire arm and goes like, how do you like that?
He's the guy who goes, oh no, flat tire, don't worry, I'll be the tire. But yeah, so you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just weird to me that we didn't have Mr. Fantastic stretch, and then in this we have her stretch in the Mr. Fantastic way, where her like arm doesn't get bigger, it
Yeah.
just like stretches out.
Mm-hmm.
Weird, but yeah, I was hoping like. I was hoping again that her powers were gonna at least look cool, so that's what I'm hoping in the second episode they look cool or something.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, I'm just not sure why we focus on the one. If you're gonna make her powers different, put the damn budget into it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but like everything else, I'm into. You know, the bracer I don't like, but whatever.
Yeah, the bangle thing is interesting in that, like, that is a thing from the comics, but it's not, like, magic.
Okay.
Or rather, it is a, like, it has, like, like, family significance.
Okay.
It is one of those things where it's like, this protects you against Jinn, it's just a general, like, good thing, but I don't think it has any, like, quote-unquote, real powers.
Mm-hmm.
It is just, of emotional significance, and it is one of those things of, like, it is the, like, I'm adding this to the costume because it makes me feel good.
Yeah, I'm also assuming this is like a more Pakistani, legend sort of thing we're going to do, rather than like a Captain Marvel sort of thing.
Yeah, because I think that also definitely ties into where they're going with this a bit better. Like like everyone is telling her, oh, that's not the way you should be, that's not the way someone from our culture should be, and it is the like, well, no, this power is literally from our culture.
Yeah. And also just like with when she like tilted back and was in that like weird space and then came back, that's nothing like the Captain Marvel stuff so far.
No.
That feels way more like a family lineage sort of thing, or like a connection to another plane or something.
Like it was purple, like the afterlife of Moon Knight and like the ancestral plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels like another like plane situation of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really glad they're doing her family as well. Like, the family stuff and the, like, the, like, all the, like, cultural stuff is a big part of, at least the first run, like, the stuff I've read for Ms. Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
And so I really appreciate, just, like, getting their characterizations right off the bat so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then just, like, having this first episode focus so much on the family dynamic and her friend, Bruno, and just, like, getting all the cast together and immediately creating this, like, complication. This feeling of just, like, God, there's so much going on in my life. I've got all this, and I've got school, and everyone's telling me I need to be this or that, but I don't know what I want to be. Now I kind of know what I want to be, but even then...
I'd say she's known what she's wanted to be the whole time. And it's more like her parents and, like the people at school telling her not to be that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't say this is more of... To me, it didn't seem like oh no, I don't know what I want to be, but more like, she knew what she wanted to be, but she just kept being told,
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the, like... before this point, she wanted to, do fan stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that stuff is extremely strong.
Yeah. And, like, you have the contradicting, like, I stop focusing on you.
Mm-hmm.
You are harmful to you. What you need to be focusing on is you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not Pakistani, I am Indian, and so, like, a lot of the cultural stuff in this episode especially was even more relatable than the comics.
Okay.
Like, it's not, for me on a personal level.
Yeah.
Like, the going to the store and having, like, all the gossip in the background and all the, like, oh, did you hear that so-and-so, had their engagement broken?
Mm-hmm.
Or the, like, you can't go out because, oh, it's not you, we're scared about everyone else.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, it's all that stuff where it's like, it's not wrong. It's just it's not a reason for me to not be able to do this thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like that, and also just the general cultural pressure of you can do this, you can't do that.
And it's understandable why a lot of like first generation, second generation families have that more helicopter parent sort of situation. Completely understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But like that is, I mean, like we're having so many movies about this dynamic now. Like you gotta break that at some point. Speaking of breaking, things the Hulk smashed. I love that because again, in the very early comics in Fantastic Four's run, like very early into its run, we do like, you know, the Thing smashes somebody's car, and you think it's gonna be the gag of like, come on, man, that was my car. But instead, the guy is like, you know, someone else comes up like, hey, old Thing, can you smash my car? And it's, oh, can you smash my car? And then, like, it's because, yeah, if this thing smashes, it's going to be worth way more than just, like, the car itself. So it's a benefit to have, like, the heroes smash your car, smash your house, or whatever. Because you're going to get way more money out of that than any other situation. And so I like that we actually have that here, where I assume they do just have a bunch of shit they've gathered that the Hulk has smashed at some point. I love that so much.
Like, I think just AvengerCon being set in New Jersey just works so thematically for me as a, like, this is not the place where all this shit happens, but we can see it. We can see it across the river.
True, yeah.
Like, it is the, like, you know, we can be fans because we are the ones watching. Whereas, like, you know, even in New York, you can be a fan, but there's still that level of, like, also you were there for all of this stuff. Whereas this is the, like, well, we saw it.
Yeah, that is the more fan thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Was the giant, like, the giant man, Ant-Man thing in the water, wasn't that, like, between New York and Jersey, actually?
I think so.
I think so.
I'm surprised they don't have more, like, Ant-Man, Giant Man pride.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember if they're from New Jersey in the MCU or not.
I don't know for sure. I think they are.
Yeah, but I'm unsure.
Because also, to be fair, they probably wouldn't know that. I mean, they might now because Scott's got a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, they know it's Scott Lang.
Yeah.
So it's like wherever Scott Lang, but like, you know, I don't know where Hank Pym originated.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, surprised. Because, yeah, it's the only hero I can think of at all who's from Jersey in the comics. I'm sure there's another one. I mean, I guess Miss Marvel now, I know is from Jersey. Is she from the comics?
I believe so.
Okay. But yeah, like, not even Scott, but, you know, Hank Pym is the only one I can think of that's from Jersey.
Yeah. Just, the fan con just looks so cool, by the way. I'm so glad this is not a, like... It'd be fine if it was an official con, or like a, you know, the Avengers institution has done this, or Stark is doing this.
Yeah.
But there's something to the, like, the energy they're able to do because it's all fan stuff. That mix of, like, this is extremely impressive, but also on top of that, you get the little bits where it's like, oh, but this was not made in a factory. Like, someone made this giant Hulk, or someone made the giant, you know, Ant-Man head.
Yeah. Also, all the comics they have around are so, like, generic, like just comics magazine, giant sized comic. And I wonder if that's fan made by them, or like, is there actually like are these the official comics? Yeah,
like, is it the thing of like, because we're going one layer deep, the stuff looks so bad because it's even more fictional?
I mean, that is what the MCU always does, but we're really, it's hard for us to like get to that, but like I feel like we're understanding it now.
Yeah,
you know, if there is something in you, like if there is the comics, if there is, you know, masks or whatever, it's, or a play or whatever, it's gonna be really shitty looking. But yeah, I love, you know, I'm not sure there's gonna be much we can talk about, but like just going through, you know, all the shit. I
think it's so funny that there's like Shield T-shirts there, because
that's true.
Because I mean, to be fair, you know, Shield is Hydra, but also it's been like 10 years since then, 15 years at this point. It's like so long that I think it's probably fallen back into a, like, you know, there's no real Shield, so this is just a thing you can print now.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's still weird, but I can kind of see it.
Is that guy dressed up as Blade?
I can't... Maybe Fury?
When does Fury wear those glasses?
Yeah, Fury doesn't wear glasses like that. Maybe he's Blade.
Yeah. Like, I'm actually curious looking in the backgrounds to see, like...
Cause, like...
Well, to be fair, that might be Fury, because that's also Black Widow next to him.
Ah. Yeah, because it could also be, you know, the classic, you add something of yourself to the thing. It could be like, I think Fury would be cooler if he had glasses on.
Or it could be Hawkeye from 2012 Avengers.
Ooh.
And we'll just say it's Fury because he's a black guy. But, like, yeah, I don't know.
Got Groot stuff? People know who Groot is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they know about the Guardians, I guess, so... It is interesting, like, everybody knows what Drax's tattoos look like.
Yeah. God.
But yet they don't know what Captain Marvel looks like.
I love the booth that is just a straight up like, hey, you want to go to New Asgard?
Yeah.
Because again, we've seen New Asgard. It is like entirely like living areas. Like it seems like it was like terraformed.
Yeah. But yeah, man, this is the shit I love.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, yeah, people are just buying shirts with Drax's tattoos on them. Or maybe it is just tattoos in general. Like, those are not Drax's tattoos, so never mind. They don't know what his tattoos look like.
Yeah, I guess it must just be, like, they have footage, maybe, of him, and they're like, alright, based on that, it's kind of like this.
Yeah, it must be, like, really, not grainy, but, you know, there must not be a clear, like, alright, guys, let's get your Avengers picture, ka-chink! Like, you know, who would have a picture of Drax?
Yeah.
Like, even, you know, they could describe them, but...
Oh, yeah, because I imagine, like, with the podcasts and all that, there's probably plenty of just, like, second-hand talk of, like, hey, I met this guy named Drax, and he was like this, or...
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is Scott, too, who's probably, like, Scott's got to be, like, the Tom Holland of the Avengers, of just, like, I can say this, right?
I mean, he was, you know, he has so much legal stuff against him, and he's doing a podcast.
That's true! Scott, stop!
They probably can't touch him at this point.
Do you think there is any reason why Bruno didn't dress up? Like, he's the only one here who didn't dress up. I mean, I guess he's Bruce Banner with the lab coat, but, like...
My guess is... I think he's a bit of a fan, but I feel like he mostly wanted to do this because he knows Kamala's a big fan.
Yeah.
Because, like, in her memory even, or, you know, in her, like, fantasy, he was dressed up as Tony Stark, which makes sense because, you know, he's a big inventor guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it was a, you know, he's just not that into it, or he was, like, so stressed out about this whole heist situation to, like, get her out and get her there, that he didn't, like, do all the, you know, like, if he had an actual costume that made him look more like Bruce, he was just like, fuck it, I'll just take the lab coat.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. So, this guy right here, with the silver hair and this outfit, is that supposed to be Hawkeye?
I think so.
It doesn't look anything like Hawkeye to me.
Oh
no, that's Thor. Okay, that's
Thor.
Thor. Just thinking it was Cable. I don't have anything else to say about the crowds, I don't think. Okay. They have a place just called the Ant Zone? What the hell is the Ant Zone?
Listen, if anything goes wrong, you get an extra hour in the Ant Zone.
But yeah, very straightforward one, again. Not much to theorize or say right now. I guess damage control is going to be a big part of this, so I wonder if, you know, like, it could have just been the cops or the FBI in No Way Home, but they might have specifically made it damage control. One, to have a damage control reference, but also to set up for this.
I can see that for sure.
Also, okay, so the world does know the Black Widow is dead.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't notice that, but yeah, they do have a, you know...
Yeah, the memorial is for both Tony and for Natasha.
Did the Hulk just slap a fridge with his full palm slap on a fridge? And why a fridge? Hulk, what were you doing?
Trying to get those turkeys or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. There's actual-ass Ant-Man and the Wasp merch.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that, you know, all that is, like, the only stuff that looks actually good, or the Iron Man stuff, because it's just, like, you know, you make the suit, and then it's just, like, a full, you know, suit sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you can see their face at all, the suit you're wearing is shitty for some reason.
There's like a little thing up there. It's like something Sokovia Accords.
Yeah.
Which I imagine is probably just the fuck the Sokovia Accords.
Oh, probably, yeah. Not a, like, we love the Sokovia Accords. Putting it next to their grave site thingy.
And there's a bunch of just, like, general we miss you stuff. Which I imagine is, you know, for people who have passed away.
Yeah, like that one's for someone's mom. But yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Black Widow actually got to get recognized for once. But okay, yeah. What else do we want to talk about in this episode that's not in the Avengers Con? But yeah, I think we might be done then. I'm not sure if I have anything else to say.
Yeah, like, the big thing is, like, you know, the aesthetics. But there's not a lot of, like, specific ones I want to, like, focus in on. It was just, like, all really, really good.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, definitely a lot of setup in this episode. And the next episode we'll get more into, like, what the plot of the show is going to be. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like, we know what the character stuff is going to be, but we don't know what the plot is going to be.
Yeah. Like, is there even going to be a villain? Or...
I guess I'll say I think we are going to fight some evil djinns.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think we'll do some stuff with that.
Yeah, because I feel like the long game is, like, maybe a Jin thing, like something that is very specific as a, like, you know, an only you situation. Like, only you can beat this.
Do you think we'll get the leader in Miss Marvel? I'm saying that simply because of the dad being all green with glasses and a tie. Like, a little hint more towards the leader.
Seems insane, but also,
I think
no.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, yeah.
What?
I do want to say I am actually excited to see more of Damage Control because I like the guy that was in Spider-Man was, you know, very funny. Like, yeah, I loved him going. I'm not sure if that was in the original movie or just the extended scenes or something. But, like,
I don't know.
You know, where Peter was trying to explain. Like, also they had, like, the, what's up with you and National Monuments? Why do you hate National Monuments so much?
The National Monuments gag, I think, was just in the extended version.
Yeah. But then also, like, the, like, you know, okay, no, I did a flip over the helicopter, and then I swung back into the window. Like, just all, like, the clarifications.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, I'm seeing this as a 90%, like, personal life, personal problems kind of series. Mm-hmm. Jin plots, you know, but also, like, you know, very minor episode 2, climaxes in episode 6, and then I feel like this has to end with Captain Marvel meeting her.
Okay, sorry, I'm looking at the papers on the table. Uh-huh. There's a bunch of wanted posters on the table for people that are armed and dangerous, and it says, the above subject is wanted in connection with a deadly something 1979 in municipal graveyard. Huh. So I wonder if, like, the graveyard thing is what caught my, you know, attention of the, like, the djinns, as I think we're going to do something with that, maybe.
Evil spirits, some real haram shit.
I hope she says, this is some real haram shit in the middle of a battle.
From all order.
Yeah. But yeah. Also, like, the fact that, like, she was distorting everybody's phones, you know, as she was doing her power. Like, her power has very, like, fucks electronics sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Huh. But yeah.
Very curious.
I'm interested in Damage Control. I normally am not a fan of the police plot line, you know, sort of thing in shows like this, but I'm excited for this because it's Damage Control, and we've already shown them to be very silly and goofy and incompetent. So that's the good, you know, when you have a cop storyline where the cop is like the doofus is always like a step behind, and it's just like a funny B plot to tell you shit that you can't get through the direct plot.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. See you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.